Well, that's right. Okay. Welcome to my Bajerski YouTube channel. Welcome to the Pure Energy Healing Academy. Today we're going to talk about signs. If you like, we're going to do a deep dive on this fantastic and phenomenal subject that can go in so many directions, but let's try and keep it simple and logical as well. It's very difficult when you speak spirituality because a lot of people believe that the two don't mix, but actually logic and spirituality does actually mix sometimes. It makes sense sometimes. So let's see if we can make sense of it. So the signs. Let's start by the first question asked of me today. I often find money, Mark. What does it mean? Spiritually speaking. Well, there are many reasons why we find money on the floor. One could be coincidence, and the other could be as a message to us to accept money. Most of us, in truth, struggle to accept anything in life. Gifts, we struggle. Oh, really? For me? Oh, honestly? Instead of saying, oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah, I do deserve it. Imagine, yeah, I deserve this. You just don't hear it or you don't see it. Well, I do actually. I've met people who embrace gifts as something more than, oh, do I deserve it, measuring their worth with a gift. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So money can easily be a message from the spirit world saying you have to learn how to accept. However, you might look at me and scratch your head and say, you know what, I really accept, I embrace money all the time. And, so that doesn't make any sense. Exactly. So it could mean something else. So there are many factors with signs, many factors that we have to embrace, not just on Google or what a spiritual person is saying, but ultimately what it feels right to you. And sometimes I often had signs which were like, okay, I don't really understand this. And then I would sit down and meditate on it and think about it, feel it, and all of a sudden it would come to me. Or it would come to me in a later date. Sometimes I wasn't really ready for it, but it was just, showing me a little bit. Are you seeing it? Are you aware of it? So there's so many reasons, like how, when, and where a situation will reveal itself with signs. About 3 months into going to a beautiful circle where there were healers, in those 3 months were probably the most exciting 3 months of my career, because at the very beginning, when I was seeing things like feathers, you might say to me, what is a feather? Well, it's just a bird that flew past. Okay, it could be, but why is it falling right on me? Why is it landing on me? Why was I, at one time, I wrote about this, I had my hands out like this meditating, and I opened my eyes and there was a feather in my hand. Nobody put it there. I turned around and thought somebody's winding me up here. There was a white feather in my hand. So to me, I used to smile, and I just used to think, okay, maybe I am on the right path. I wrote about this as well. I once had a little creature on my shoulder, and a praying mantis of all creatures on my shoulder, and it was like, ugh! And I actually knocked it off. I was petrified, right? I just, and then I realized, it was a sign. And now I didn't really know anything about this, but I did look it up, and because somebody told me to. And it did actually say that this you are on a journey to be not a healer, but a speaker of spirituality of some sorts, like a teacher or a guide. And at that point, I was so down because I thought I was going to be writing next to the Dalai Lama and a few other people who were writing in a book, and it never happened. My chapter never got in there. I was a bit down. I thought, oh, it'd be nice to be next to all of these people, and just ego, absolute bloody ego. And I'm glad it wasn't in the end, to be honest, because I ended up using that chapter for my book, which was, that's all as it should be. So that was another. Yeah, it goes so deep. This goes so deep. It really does. Well, I mean, the signs that I used to see were phenomenal. Signs can be somebody who comes up to you and talks to you about a certain subject that you need at that moment, or something that's about to come up in your life. Sometimes crystals can disappear. That's another sign, and there are multiple reasons for that happening. Crystals can break. That's another reason as well, that maybe you need to gift a crystal to somebody. When it breaks, give that energy to somebody else, or whether that crystal has served its purpose, or you just attune to it and feel what feels right. Every time I used to break a crystal by accident, or it just cracked, I used to plant crystals, or I used to go to a river or the sea and put them in there. Planting them is obviously a beautiful thing, and you can actually plant them in your plant pot as well, or you can just put them around the house. Again, these are things that we've cleared, moved on, and now we're moving to another level of awareness within the crystal energy. So I never see it as a bad omen. I mean, that is just for scaremongering. There's no bad omens at all. Oh, I've seen a crow, or I've seen one for sorrow, I've seen one magpie. You know, that's all just scaremongering tactics. Signs are never there as a bad omen. Sometimes they're there to, I don't like the word warn, but to just give us a heads up for what's going on. Some people talk to me about seeing numbers all the time, double digits. My understanding of that is very limited, but what I do say is this: when I often see double digits, I normally feel that I'm aligned and that I am on my path, and that this is just a message saying that everything's aligned and you're okay. You're really doing the right thing. You're heading in the right direction. Don't stop what you're doing. Birds are interesting. I often, when I speak and something is really profound, I often see eagles either out of this window or when I'm driving. And from here to the UK and back again in my mobile home, I saw over 20 eagles that flew above my van as I was driving. Nobody else's car, just mine, and they flew in right above, and one actually flew alongside me and then went. I was just smiling. What does it mean, Mark? Well, for me, I don't really need to know the in-depth detail other than this is a beautiful sign. Thank you very much. Whatever's happening is for me, it's a beautiful thing. And I don't need to look too much into detail. Now, I understand when people do. I understand people want to know more. They're desperate to know more. Please tell me, what is it? For me, I've just got used to it. I've just enjoy the moment of a butterfly flying around me. Where was I? In Bali. There was a black butterfly that would not stop flying around me. There was lots of other people here and there, but it was around me all the time. In fact, people were laughing because they could see this butterfly around my face and all over me. I hadn't eaten anything. I just sat there and this black butterfly all around me. Ask me what that means? No idea, but it felt good. And whenever I see black, it means it's a good change in life. And actually coming back, it's like, wow, yeah, I get it now. I understand that. Sometimes I was in the UK not so long ago, a few days ago, and I saw a robin, and that was right next to me, and I smiled, and that's like, for me, that's my mum, you know, and because I relate to the robin to be my mum, right? So I thought, oh, my mum's here, and that's like a sign. The robin isn't my mum, it's just a beautiful message. Oh, Jesus, there's the sign. Well, yes, that's a Disney sign. There's a parade in the village, so I've just seen all the Disney characters. There's a sign for you. That's just thrown me right off. Because anytime I think of Disney, I think of the worst thoughts of who Disney is. And if you've never understood what that is, just look at the Disney logo. You'll see 666 in it, and there's a reason for that. Anyway, that's not really well, it is a sign. It's a subliminal sign that they want to show people, you know, but they want to hide it at the same time. But that's a different sign. We won't talk about that. We'll talk about the signs that are important. So let's finalize this, because I'm like thrown all over the place with that. It's like, come on. Yeah, Disney, evil trying to stop me talking about a beautiful subject. This is what I would say to you guys, beautiful souls out there who are walking a path of awakening and seeing things. I think after all the years, after all the years that I've tried to understand, I've got butterflies above me here as a reminder of being gentle and being kind. And the signs that you're drawn to at any given moment, whether it may be animals, whether it may be coins, whether it may be a feather, whether it may be a smell, whether it may be music that is playing in the background that reminds you of something. Yeah, that's it. That's to finish off with. The point being to the signs of the spirit world is about giving you reassurance, encouragement, giving you knowledge that they're always there. And finally, whatever signs you see, the spirit world knows that whatever that sign is will relate to what you know. So my final message is this. It makes sense. Think about it. Whatever you feel the sign is normally what it is. Okay? So you've got to work on your higher intuition when it comes to signs. You've got to believe in yourself. It's not about somebody else's sign, because if you're reading from Google, if you're reading from books, you're reading from somebody's experience of what they felt and understood by their sign. But that's not necessarily your experience and what you are being told by the spirit world. So always remember, the sign is personal. It is you. It's for you. Maybe not always, but 9 times out of 10, I believe the spirit world knows you know, and it wants you to work things out for yourself. It wants you to attune to your spirit and your higher self by sitting down and just simply meditating and just feeling it. And it will come, and you will understand it. And that's when you become your best teacher, because you are. Nobody is a better teacher than you, because what you've been through, your trauma, your experience, your life path, all of these things spirit world knows. So it gives you certain messages, certain signs that help you along your journey of life to feel better, feel stronger, feel happier, to let go of things, and to become more aware of the journey that you're walking. This is all protection. It's all love. It's all cleansing. And it's all beautiful. There is no negative signs. There is no negative fear factor to anything that you see. And if you do, that is your own mind kicking in because of the program of what you have been told by certain people. Trust me, I've been 20 years in this field of work. It is nothing but beautiful if you stay away from those who just spend their life in the misery of fear and worry. Have a great day, guys. Take care.